experts is that the European Union is offering a huge market for East Africa's agriculture produce. When you look at market for the East African community products such as coffee, flowers, tobacco, tea, fish, vegetables, and precious meat oils, among others. Let's have a look at this report.
James Kanyije, the executive director Keke Foods, says most of the vegetables grown in Uganda are exported to the European Union market, apart from a few like tomatoes, onions, among others.
Pepper, some parts of Spain grow onions, and mainly those, the courgettes, mainly those just products that are well grown in the European Union or in their closest business partners, so they are cheap there, so we don't compete. And those are the crops, those are the products that we don't export unless there is a need.
He further adds that to export to the European market, there are criteria that need to be followed. With the Ukraine-Russia nuclear war, James says that this is going to affect the exports since even the flight costs are very high.
It will not be the same for the next 5 years. The business will never be the same again with the COVID-19 and then Russia and Ukraine war, which may spill over to other places, and it is going to affect it. This you are seeing is the ice. You call it what? Iceberg, or they call it a small piece or quarter of an orange when it is cut in 4 pieces. We are yet to see destruction of the industries. The reason is when energy is expensive. First of all, we have very expensive electricity to add value. Now we are going to have very expensive locomotive movement. I mean, the fuel that moves, runs the vehicles, runs the generators. Because we are yet to see if now, today or tomorrow, Russia bans the exportation of their fuel. Then a barrel of crude oil will go to 300, and that means the petrol, a liter will go at 10,000 or plus, and that means the end of the business. Because currently the freight has gone up to $2.50, which was $1.35. We are contemplating on what to do, because even the scarcity of the aeroplanes out of the country is another obstacle to the business currently.
Many farmers use chemicals during crop harvest to control pesticides. However, James says this affects the health of humans.
It affects you and us. As I said in my beginning, I said we do not buy in those markets. We produce directly from the farm. Our produce are tested on arrival in European Union for chemical residues, and we are passing. But the most important thing is that what I saw is that those irresponsible farmers should stop it, because chemicals are used and are protected, are used well in time. That's why we always say post-harvest interval for chemical application. That's why they are there. But what I saw is that maybe some farmers apply chemicals when they have already harvested. But that is for the domestic market, which must stop also, because it can be a source of cancer, of any disease in your system. So, but no one should be worried about the European Union, because our production is based on standard, is based on human nature, because for us we grow for a market which specifies what they want in terms of chemical, in terms of pest, and the quality parameters. So we use all those to produce for export.
The value of the region's exports to European Union rose to 9.6 trillion in 2021, increasing by 8%. East Africa's exports to the European Union shot up amid these trials of COVID-19 lockdown.
Very well, there you had Dr. James Kanyije there, the CEO KK Foods, explaining to us how maybe even Russia-Ukraine conflicts are bound or are yet even to be impacting more effects on their exportation, but also highlighting a number of issues in regards to even how chemical mixtures you put on food for quality. You believe there is quality. That's why they use it. It is affecting health around there.